ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to the Debate Network. That's right, folks, and welcome everyone to the Dojo Debate. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this is the host EBYMC here with my other host. That's right, the man of 1,000 words. The man who gives you the words of what the hell has been happening in the world of New Japan. Shit, man. I know we missed out on the recap for Destruction, but we had to save this the recap of a new world champion, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, which, I mean, it was bound to happen, man. But that guy right there, that is right. But, man, we'll get into that. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to recap, very brief, of course, of Kings of Pro Wrestling. Happened, of course, 24 hours ago, you could say, that it happened.
Yeah, and can I say I was happy that they brought this back. Mm-hmm. They haven't done it for a few years, and it was much appreciated because it was overall loved the card that they had. Every match was great in its own self.
Oh, absolutely. The whole card itself was fantastic. You know, seeing Mystico, versus, Hiromu, that was a great matchup. And congratulations, of course, to Kevin Knight and, of course, the Time Splitter himself winning the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships. I mean, I didn't expect that.
Is this their second time or the first time?
I think it's the first time because I think, remember, they won the New Japan Strong ones.
Yes.
They lost them. But they lost those. Yeah, they lost
That's
those.
What it was.
And now they ended up getting, the actual IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion. So now, which they're going to be, of course, competing in the World Tag League. But, man, there's a lot of things happening here. And then we did have the returns. We had a return as well here of Master Wato making his return during the Doku and show match. He made his return, made the save to Doku. We saw the evil side of Doku for sure. Man,
was it Kishin Doki?
Yeah, Kishin Doki. That's what it was. And then we also had a great performance, but of course. Give a shout out to Red Narita, man. He fucking is now your new, television champion.
Deserves it.
Yeah, and he deserves it. And incredible triple threat match he had against Yoda and Jeff Cobb. It was like a lucha libre, strong style, mixed style triple threat, but it was amazing to see. Did not expect Narita. I honestly was expecting either Jeff to retain or Yoda actually walking out with that belt. But this is something that surprised the world, and I'm glad that he. They're seeing the momentum that he has. So I was really, really happy about that. And, man,
there's something interesting with that, too.
I can't wait to hear you.
Yeah.
And then we also have who made his debut just on Destruction, who just is from Noah, but he came back from Noah. He was previously with New Japan as of course, a young lion.
It was a young lion, and then he was kind of graduated, and then attached to Kaito Kiyomiya.
Yep.
And then they did tag league together, and then after New Year's Dash, Kaito invited him to Noah for his excursion.
Mm-hmm. That is right. And good matchup they had with Shingo Takagi. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That was a banger matchup to see. Two meaty men slapping meats. Yes, baby.
What up again, Jordan? Thanks for tuning in.
Jordan World. That's right. And then the emotional man. I know Goto brought Hiroki Goto brought his kids. They were in attendance, seeing him going after the global championship against David Finlay. What a match, though. That was incredible. But unfortunately, did not able to do it. It did not get the upset that he wanted to win the global championship from David Finlay. It is sad because the kids, even his daughter was crying, for God's sakes. I was just like, shit, I felt bad. But the aftermath we had after that, we had the return of Taichi. Yes, and now be the next challenger for David Finlay, which has already been announced, happening at Power Struggle for the global championship, which I'm excited for because it is about damn time they do something with Taichi now for going after this belt. I am so with it. So I am not mad about that at all. And then also seeing, the announcement that people shocked. Look, I honestly, I know people are going to give me shit. People are listening and watching. I'm not shocked that Tanahashi announced his retirement, his road to retirement. He announced at King of Pro Wrestling that he will be retiring by Wrestle Dynasty, correct? That's where he said he would be retiring at Wrestle Dynasty.
What was it?
Wrestle Dynasty. He's gonna retire.
No. He's going to retire. No. 2025 is going to be his last full year. He's going to retire at Wrestle Kingdom 2026. So basically, like you said earlier, it's the same thing as John Cena.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. It's the same thing as John Cena. So
go figure.
I mean, what you said is fine. I mean, he deserves it. What's up, Henry? Yeah, well, he deserves it. I mean, and especially now that you're like the president pretty much now of New Japan, you have to focus more on your talent and the development of the product and the marketing stuff too.
Can I say long-term booking, if it's his last match at Wrestle Kingdom is not against Evil, then I don't know what it should be.
I know, right?
With what they've been doing lately, with Evil saying that he is in charge of New Japan. He is the president, not him. Absolutely. So you got to do something between the two of them.
Yeah. No, definitely. They have to do something there. I mean, and just, we're going to save the main event for last because there was a lot of things happening on the aftermath. I want to say that for last because there was a lot of questions there of what we're seeing. But that's why I have another layout for that for the main event. But I want to talk about overall this, the rest of the card. So, man of 1,000 words, break it down. The floor is yours. What were your thoughts and what do you grade it? And, man, did you see these returns happening? And which one really got to you out of seeing all these matches? Like, damn, why?
Well, real quick, can you bring it up just so it's easier to talk about?
All right. So let's start off with the first opening matchup. Then let's start up with
see, this one got me good because of the details that they went through. They said they wrestled the first time, and I believe Mystico won the first one.
Yes.
And they mentioned at the end of it, Mystico has only lost 4 matches in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one of them. And they're just naming out his accomplishments. I thought it was great that he came and wrestled here. This is a pretty cool thing since he's technically in MLW as a promotion. But then, of course, he does everything else there. He's the reigning Opera Cup champion. And he should be getting and middleweight champion, I believe, as well over there. And it was a great match. It wasn't that long. They did a lot of great spots here. But what got me was the end. Hiromu went to shake his hand, and then, of course, Mystico got in his face, and he was like pulling his mask, and then goes like this to his hair. So it looks like we're going to be getting a hair versus mask match to determine the winner of the grudge because they're both at 1-1. That's
very true, and it's funny because that's what you even brought up. Like the match was that match. That stipulation was brought up for this one, but they decided not to do it. So it was just a tease. But I guess like how you mentioned, like the aftermath, it might happen.
So here's 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
When do you do it? That's first question. And then second question, who loses? Do you take the hair off Hiromu, or do you take the mask off of Mystico?
I think you got to take the hair off of Hiromu. I think so. It's almost the same as Sonata. Like, remember when Sonata had the hair? Did we expect the Sonata to fucking cut
but he still had short hair. It just was he changed the hairstyle of the short hair. He didn't have long wavy hair.
No, but he had it to the shoulders though, at least. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, he had it like this, like hairstyles. But remember when he left it down, he had it to his shoulders, so it's almost close to like Hiromu's hair. But Hiromu has a little bit longer, of course. So I mean, you know, that I feel it should be Hiromu's hair.
And you know what? They keep tugging they keep pulling at me, teasing me, because they keep on saying, and when they mentioned the fact that last month he lost to Henare, and they keep saying he was using that to get to Naito, to get the Naito match. I'm telling you, I've been saying this for months. It's going to be him versus Naito, possibly at Wrestle Kingdom, because they want to do that match. Now, I'd be okay if they did the hair versus mask match between Mystico and him at Wrestle Kingdom. That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. But at some point, you got to do that match with Naito and Hiromu. They just tease it way too much lately, just throwing it at you. They hope that you don't notice what they say, but then boom, they said it, and then I catch it every single time. So New Japan, don't think I don't hear it, because I'm on to you. Because I was saying that before you even started doing that.
I'll save my response for that when we get to the main event, because I'm with you what you're saying, though. That's for sure. I'm with you on that for sure. So I mean that was a great opening, and you know, then after that, I believe the next matchup
it was the junior. It was the junior tag championship between the War Dogs and the Jet Setters. It was a fun paced match. They carried out good in the beginning, saying that boom. In the beginning, Kushida got injured because of Drilla Maloney, but then Kushida got his revenge back at Drilla. Mm-hmm. And then they asked for the title shots, and they got it, which was good. But it was a fun match. It was. Like we on NXT, we talk about Javon Evans. New Japan has their own Javon Evans in Kevin Knight.
Fuck yeah, he does. Man.
The way that he jumped and then jumped over the railing, Jesus, like he's a jet setter for a reason. That guy has hops. And I love the way that he keeps on getting better. Like you see more and more from him. And I thought it's been great that he's been paired with Kushida.
Yes, it's a good pair.
He can learn a little bit more too, because he's been learning Japanese from Kushida.
Yep.
And then Kushida is, of course, one of the main trainers at the LA Dojo now. So it's a perfect guy to be with. He's going to do great things there. But it's like, I just love the match, and I love the ending when he thought that War Dogs were going to retain, and then boom, a simple roll-up. That's all you need. Mm-hmm. That's all you needed from a team like that to win. Mm-hmm. And they get the upset victory, and you see them so happy. And then a little bit of talking shit that they won the titles and whatnot. And now they can walk into the Junior Tag League as champions, kind of reminiscent to when Robbie Eagles and Tiger Mask a couple years ago did the same thing, and then they defended the titles at Wrestle Kingdom. I kind of hope they get the chance to do that, because it would be a great experience for Kevin Knight to be able to have a good title match at Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That's very true. And then after that, the next matchup, what do we have here? What's going on, Marcus? The next matchup, I know it wasn't the tag in the next matchup. I keep forgetting the lineup on the card. But I believe it was Shingo, right? That was the next one?
No,
which one was the next one?
I'm bringing it up.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it might have been the tag title match.
Oh, that's TMDK. versus Bad
Here it
Ballet
is.
and
I'm bringing it in
mhm.
right now. So we did that. Okay, yes, it's TMDK versus the Rogue Army, which was Bad Luck Fale and Caveman Ugg.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
It was good.
Because the brute guys getting those power moves on them. I thought when Caveman Ugg dove onto, was it Shane Haste?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Shane Haste onto
Shane
the
Hayes.
table was a great
Yep.
spot.
That was a good spot.
And basically TMDK just barely won. Just like before, like a simple pin roll up. But it was a simple, like 8-minute match. A few crazy spots, just enough to get by. But then the real treat was at the end when out comes Grado Khan and Hernare
Yes.
to challenge them for the tag titles, which is probably, I think, yeah, they announced it for a Power Struggle, which is nice. And they were like, if you had the balls, you would accept this challenge, and they accepted.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they book that, because we've seen several times that Grado Khan uh, has walked into uh, the World Tag League either as champion or dropping the championship right before. So he's always there. They trust him in that spot, it seems, to be on either side. But I'm liking it. Like, of course, I'm a big advocate of Nichols and Haste, TMDK, a true tag team. They're great together.
Yes.
That whole group has been killing it. They're even growing. We'll talk about the newest member, and which is next. But it was a good match for when it needed to be. I thought it was really cool the fact that the way that they booked the match was it happened. They had one of them get pinned in Australia when they did the Tamahashi events, because a lot of people don't know that not Grado Khan, that Bad Luck Fale trains people at the New Zealand dojo.
Yep, he's a head trainer.
Yeah, he's still training, and they do a lot of events over there for those young lions there, or just Australian-based wrestlers. So that's why you don't see him as much anymore, because he's spending a lot of time there. So you're not going to just get the U.S. and the Japanese like young lions. You're going to see the New Zealand, Australian young lions. So it's a thing that I've been loving. The production of young talent from different points on the globe, which is a focus of New Japan with their growth as a promotion.
Absolutely.
But it was good to see him back on TV after, like, I think almost a year since he's been on, since the World Tag League.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's been about a year since he hasn't showed up on television.
Yeah, I think World Tag League, and then I think Wrestle Kingdom he was on, and then that was it. But he might be older, but he still has it.
He still got it, man.
Yeah, I like the highlights. I like the highlighted facial hair that he has now.
Yes, love it.
Yes,
love it. It fits that, man. And then we had, of course, the Never Open Weight Championship on the line. Shingo Takagi versus the new member of TMDK.
Ryohei Oiwa.
That's right. That is right. Man, that was a banger matchup. But break it down,
Such good talent here in Oiwa. He's a good combination, of brute strength, but then speed. He has the charisma. I think that the excursion in Noah, like, he could have went anywhere else, like Red Pro, but I think going to Noah was probably the best move for him.
I agree.
Being put into their N1 tournament like helped him out based on all that veteran talent and even some of the young talent that he got to face. Because I think he fought Josh Briggs.
Yes.
I think it was him.
Yep.
But he has that untapped potential, and like we talk about this all the time. All these young, up and coming future wrestlers of New Japan, they've talked about what are you going to do with Okada leaving, Will Ospreay leaving, Jay White leaving, all these guys leaving. Boom! Look at all these guys that they've thrown at us in the last year and a half. In Oiwa, you got Fujiya, you got Yoda Suji. We're going to talk about the other guy, the new TV champion. We're going to talk about him. Like we got so many guys that are just coming in and debuting. Yuya Uemura, who's injured right now. Yeah. He won't be back until probably March, which sucks.
I know, man.
Like they're finding ways to get younger. And now I feel like this is going to be the sweet spot for New Japan because they got a good amount of young guys to vets.
Yes.
To where the vets are going to help grow these guys into the future. So I feel like now, like before, we had like Henry said, New Japan does a great job of developing new talent.
Absolutely.
Before you had so many vets and big time stars, and they had a couple here and there, young lions graduate and then come back from excursion. Now we have a lot, and they can put them to good use.
Definitely.
You might not have as many stars as you did before, but you're going to have a lot of untapped potential. And like I said before, you're going to have a lot to work with. And this was only his first match back fully in a big spot. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. He didn't win. Like he almost got the win. And then, of course, boom, you get made him Japan a couple times. But like he showed that he's going to be – I could see him winning that belt in next year.
Oh, yeah. And like how Henry's saying here, if not the best, if not the best, but I'm going to need talent ever better than the WWE, in my opinion. I mean, when New Japan I can't compare them, Henry, because there's a whole different culture and
it's old school mentality. What you do is you'd send people to different territories to fight different people and to gain knowledge, and then you come back to your own. And if you're a champion or not, and then you'd be better for it.
Yeah.
So what New Japan does is, like, you learn the dojo way, and then they send you out to do that somewhere for like a year to get to wrestle people and to gain experience, and then you come back with your whatever gimmick you come back as. Like, I remember Jay White going to ROH and he wore trucks. And then he really didn't have like a gimmick. And then he comes back and he's the Switchblade all of a sudden. And that's what they do. That's like their present to you graduating and then finishing your excursion. Boom. You had this gimmick.
Yeah. And it's not only that, but to add on top of what you're saying too, that also now with the relationship that now New Japan has being like everybody all together, and now being open with the other promotions, like you mentioned, Noah, you mentioned, like DDT, you have Rev Pro, you have like, you mentioned Ring of Honor. So like having that doors open and say, hey, go learn, go to different territories, learn the knowledge, the acknowledgement, not only just charisma, but also in-ring psychology of it from the different athletes, develop their characters and finding who they are. And come back and make them something. How you mentioned a great example of Jay White, and that's a great example there because it's very true, and that's something that why Henry we can't. They have the old school mentality, and I think that I'm kind of glad it still works that way because how you mentioned earlier, like you're on the mark. What you're saying, especially you're right on point. That this is now the future, and we talked about it with the G1 that this is going to be now the future heading into the next 5 years, and they're defending them. adding these champions now, like having, especially Ren Narita, who's now a champion, a singles champion, and having that, and then Doku, who paid his dues, he's never really had that belt, and never had that belt, and now has it, is doing something with it, and I'm so happy for it. And seeing the rest, it's incredible to see. That's amazing, and I love it because you're right. It's like I feel that with Tanahashi now stepping, doing his last run, he is gonna really focus on that for sure. That future alongside with Gato, and who knows, like I said, I'm not hating on Gato, but there was prior bookings that were not really like was the best. That we questioned it when we covered it, like the last couple of years of it. We questioned, but this time now is a different direction, and I want to see how Tanahashi is able to do it with this younger talent. I think he could.
If it wasn't for all this, we wouldn't have gotten Jake Lee.
That's true.
It because they're like they always had the back and forth where like last year we had Kaito Kiyomiya show up in the G1. This year was Jake Lee, and then Jake Lee now is signed to New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you're going to see more of that where you see guys go over there. Like we've already started seeing it on a regular cycle. Like I'm interested to see if there's going to be a guy in New Japan that goes over to Noah and stays there or not, or is there going to be a new guy like each year they have a spot in the G1 just for one Noah wrestler?
I hope they continue that. I hope they continue that and have that, like how they did with Konosuke, even though he was pretty much full time AEW instead of being but a former Noah, but in DDT. But still, still bringing someone, and like Jake Lee too. Like you mentioned, Jake Lee is likewise.
Yeah. Before
he decided to sign with.
But it seems like with the excursion thing, they've kind of been more lenient with how it works now. Like we said, usually, like in the past, you went to Ring of Honor, you were there for a year, and then you come back. Now it's like for the last few years, it was a norm where you'd see them go to Rev Pro for 6 months to a year, then come back. But now it's like you could go to Ring of Honor. You could go to Rev Pro, you can go to the Indies, or you could go to like Mexico or something like that, or you could just do your excursion in New Japan, as what we've seen with like Kyoji Fujita. That's what like he really didn't do an excursion. Like he might have did like a month or two somewhere, but he was here from the start because he's been training with the guys there.
That's right. That's absolutely right. All right. And but that was an amazing triple threat, though. I mean, congratulations, Ren Narita, having now a singles championship, and I can't wait to see how that story's going to develop more and more. And
I love the finish though, like because you thought he was in. You get the what was it? I think you got the spear reversed into the, of course, Tour of the Islands, and then right at the end, Jeff Cobb gets rolled up. So this is what I was thinking about, because this was a great give and go matchup. Where
it was.
You didn't have too much confusion. There's only a few times where all three guys are in the ring, so they were rotating in and out. Here's my thing, though. There's been 2 title matches with Yota Fuji in it. One, he wrestles to a draw as challenger. And then the second one, he never got pinned.
Nope.
So does that mean it should be Ren Narita versus Yota Tsuji?
Yep.
Or does Jeff Cobb have a claim for his rematch? Like, how's that going to work out?
That's what I want to see. How's that going to work out? Because, they still got events coming up too. They got Royal Quest coming up, and the card's already settled for that. But they still got Power Struggle, and they still got the finals for the World Tag League, and they can figure it out by then, hopefully so. But I mean, you're right. I mean, that's going to be the one that you and I are going to be like, which direction you're going to go to now, because you got now 2 challengers, one didn't get pinned, one that has a rematch clause. So where we're going to go with this situation with Ren Narita.
And with Royal Quest on Sunday, you would think that maybe you get a match booked for Power Struggle, but if you don't, after that, the next thing is Wrestle Kingdom. So you're gonna have to do something with it for Wrestle Kingdom.
That's true. That is absolutely true. So yeah, they got a long way to go to figure that out. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
man. And then that's when we had the House of Torture versus Tanahashi, ELP, and I can't forget his name. Jesus Christ.
Shota
Umino. And yes, man, they dressed up like really like
warriors,
gladiator style. But it was awesome. Great entrance. Great with the audiences. And it was a good matchup. I mean, it was great. And
favorite part of the match, when El Fantasma's in the ring, he holds the leg up, and he's asking Hiroshi Tanahashi, "How do I do it? How do I do it? The dragon screw?"
Yep.
And Hiroshi's teaching him how. He's like this, like this, and then he's like, yeah. And it was a like subtle comedy that I really enjoyed there.
It was, yes, it was.
And now you're gonna and I'm loving the transformation because first it was El Phantasmo by himself during the G1 last year.
Yep.
He gets out of that, winds up going with God and becoming a multiple like a tag team champion of both belts with Hikuleo and being in that group in that stable. Then they all leave, so now it's just him and Jado. Goes through this G1 is kind of like sad, depressed, but then he kind of goes through it. Like you see, just like they said, a lot of people are offering him spots in the group, and he's like just thinking about it. He's having this bad thoughts, like doesn't know what he wants to do, this and that. He gets taken out, but then he comes back, helps him out. He's shredded now, like he's all shredded now. And he feels like he has purpose now, and he wants to learn from Tanahashi.
Yep.
He wants to be part of that group. And then please tell me if, like, from how we knew that El Phantasmo usually dresses, did he not look like Jey Uso?
Yes, he did. Way before even Uso did. Yeah. We know that for years that EOP has been that man with the glasses before Jey Uso even brought it up to the to.
But I mean, like, he had the shoes. Like usually he wears boots, but he had shoes on. He had like the little baggy pants, and just like Jey Uso and whatnot. I'm just like the short hair. Now he has the short hair. Like I'm just like, am I seeing the same thing? But I'm like, I'm liking it though, and we're gonna get a tag match out of this.
Oh yeah.
At Power Struggle, which is going to go great. But I'm like, are they really going to throw us a bone and give us Tanahashi and El Phantasmo as a tag team in the World Tag League?
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't mind that. I think that's something like, we're seeing this process of El Phantasmo. And I feel that, and you correct me if I'm business. Maybe this is me. I feel that if Tanahashi's gonna take him on under him, like, hey, come on, I'll teach you, and they go into the World Tag League after, let's say they have a great, matchup at Power Struggle. After that, they say that they EOP convinces him. They said yes. They go all the way. They actually maybe win it, possibly. Who knows? And maybe giving EOP the faction. With because by the looks of it here, I mean, we know it here. Chaos is done. Chaos is pretty much completely done. It's no longer there. I mean, Tomohiro Ishii's on his way out. He's retiring. He knows that he can't go how he used to. Master Wato's doing his own thing. He's on a solo basis, which we'll get into him. And who else you have? You have Toru Yano. What is he doing? He's more on side with Tanahashi. Tanahashi's crew. So what about if Tanahashi has EOP to be the one that leading that back with Oleg?
What members of Chaos are doing the Super Junior Tag League? Is that Leo Rush and Yo?
That's the only ones. Just them. I'm telling you, might as well just end chaos there, have the new faction of Tanahashi, and have them join them with the LP beating the new faction.
Well, that's already basically a faction, Hog Tie.
There
but
you go.
It is, but it isn't. They don't really bring that up. They bring it up when they need to, but they really don't. Like, it's not really mentioned too much on TV. But at first, I thought it was going to be Tanahashi is going to bring him under his ring, and then it was going to be in the sole purpose of helping him work with Shota Umino.
Mm-hmm.
But now I see Shota Umino has his eyes on elsewhere. So now I'm like, okay, maybe that was the original plan, but they switched it. Now it's going to be them two as a tag team. That way Tanahashi has something to do. But then it really that confuses me in the fact that Tanahashi is a trios champ at the moment.
I mean, eventually down the line, they'll probably lose that belt, or maybe I don't see them unless
they should have dropped those to House of Torture. That's what they should have done.
Well, no, because we didn't know. Remember, we haven't mentioned the aftermath. After the match, that's where he announced he's on his way out, that he's doing his last tour, and maybe that's where down the line later he'll lose it. Maybe this one was just only for him to do the announcement. Maybe that could be the case. I mean, we may be wrong in that direction, but I don't know. I mean, this is my opinion.
I'm very intrigued, but just like with the tag title match, this match really wasn't that long either.
No, it was not.
But you gotta see good spots. But the primary motion was I thought the little comedy spot. What's going on?
What's going on?
Alden Danielson. The big spot to me was the comedy spot with the dragon screw and him talking to Tanahashi, and then the quick win, and then of course the aftermath. You see him giving the speech, blah blah blah, but then House of Torture comes back and attacks them. But this time it was Ren Narita and him. So now it's gonna be. So now just thinking. They can't have the TV title match because Ren Narita's already booked for Power Struggle.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Oh, yeah, but I'm saying after, maybe towards the finals of the World Tag League, maybe maybe. I mean, we still got that opportunity because I don't know if they're gonna do a 2-night event. I have to double check to see if they are, but maybe they could be.
I know the World Tag League is in November.
Yeah, it's
December.
End of December. Yeah. Yes. But man, I mean, after that matchup, we had another match that was short. I don't know if you felt it. I kind of felt it, even though it was great to see.
14 seconds.
Why? It doesn't. The
answer is yes.
Yes, that is correct. I just I just don't. Why you treat this IWGP Junior Heavyweight like this in that much time? That's what really got to me. And
I don't mind how this match went.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's why do you keep having him get attacked by guys in House of Torture every time he retains? Is the thing, but I like how this worked because. In general, when Show was champion, the only reason he beat Doki was because of outside interference from House of Torture. It was a good match, and then that happened. Coming into this, after the defeating Uncle Nobu at Destruction, when he beat him, he got attacked by Show, and then Show was like, I want the match or I'm destroying your belt. So he gave a bit. He's been a fighting champion. So then he doesn't even get his entrance because he gets pulled out and attacked before he comes out by Show and he drags him out.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the introduction of Kishin Doki.
Yeah.
So you're technically getting a 14-second match, but it was 10 minutes worth of build. From the attacking him, hitting him with the wrench, pulling him in, pulling the mask off and doing everything with that, to seeing the Joker type look on his face.
That was awesome, by the way. That
flip
shit
a
was
switch
awesome.
and then boom.
I enjoyed that. That was awesome.
Then I love how he does that. Then he does the finish twice, gets the pin. The ref helps put his mask back on, and then boom, the trance is over. Like he's back to Jokey. But then I almost slipped out because I'm like, what? Uncle Nobu's attacking him again? I'm like, well, they just go recycle. But I liked how that was the setup for the return of Master Watto. Which is nice, and they're going to do a match. I was just hoping that this match wouldn't happen until Wrestle Kingdom.
Me too. I kind of wanted that, to be honest. I wanted that, but then also even though we didn't see him, but it's Yo who's going to come back too. So Yo is on his way back. So that's going to be something that they might get him involved in this situation.
Well, he's in the Super Junior Tag League.
Yeah. But now that he's back and he's in a Super Junior Tag League, so he might get him involved in this situation too. So,
I just hope that Doki can walk into Wrestle Kingdom as champion.
He deserves that.
He deserves it, especially with how he's done. Like they gave him a kind of semi-new look. They gave him a new theme song. They've given him focus. He's gotten jacked up, and like he's just put on great matches. I just hate that the matches are getting sidetracked by the attacks at the end of them. Like when you think of the past year, Doki has beat Hiromu, he has beat El Desperado, he has beaten Taj Ishimori, the goats of the division. Currently, and then he goes and beats. Of course, lately he's beaten Sho. Finally beaten Sho. He's beaten Uncle Nobu.
That was a good match they had with Uncle Nobu, I'll tell you that. I enjoyed it. Great. It was a great one they had. It was good to see Uncle Nobu's. We had a side that we haven't seen in a long time. And in Destruction, they fucking knocked it out of the park. I think that.
And now he gets Mascherano, another guy.
That's going to be the one I'm so nitty about because that's going to be we're going to see more of Doku momentum here besides, Master Watto. I know he's been out for a while, but I'm excited to see how they're going to fucking really do it. That's going to be the one who's going to be like, oh, shit. Oh, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. So, man. Yeah. Oh, the emotional one. Oh, man. It was so close, damn it. So close. Hiroki Goto, man, couldn't get the job done.
Tell us about it.
It was just really, it was a great match. I tell you that, man. It was great, like just in between back and forth. It was just awesome. I mean, Finley pretty much talking shit to the kids. They were right there in front, sitting down, and it's just like, but Goto was having the momentum, like really. Yeah. And the kid until the end, of course, he got pinned and wasn't able to get the job done. Then after that, Finley, of course, was attacking Goto because after he talked to his kids, and then that's when we got the return of Taichi. Taichi making his return and pretty much looking at Finley, okay, and Finley's like pretty much telling him, "What, you want some of this? Come on, you couldn't even participate in the G1. You couldn't even made it in the G1." Like talking shit to the Taichi, and Taichi's like, "Oh, I want that belt. I'm gonna get that belt." But man, and I mean, it's gonna happen at Power Struggle. It's official already now. Taichi will be challenging David Finley for that championship, and it's good to see Taichi at least now involved because it's been a minute we haven't seen him. I know he was injured prior, but I'm glad that he's somehow involved in this championship belt. Not like I'm not hating on Greedo Khan's belt. I'm not hating on that belt. The King of Pros. I'm not hating on it. I'm just really more that something different for Taichi. And I think this is something that he needs, and I think he needs to be a better booking. And I think this is the right decision for him to go after this belt. And I'm excited to see Taichi what he's going to be doing against Finley. I think they're going to put a fucking banger matchup between the two at Power Struggle. I can tell you that. But it's just the biggest question here is for like, what's next for Goto? What is his next? Is this retirement calling? Is this already like hanging the boots? I know Yoshihashi is wondering himself too. Like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna have one last? Run?
You knew this was gonna happen. You have Yoshihashi lose, then you have him lose, and then you wonder what's next.
Separation.
And then it's either that or they go into the World Tag League like they always do, and they win it, or come close to winning.
I mean, unless close to winning, maybe close to the semifinals, and maybe close to winning it. Who knows?
Yeah.
I got to see the lineup how it is. I know they announced them already, but you just got to see how exactly. I think, in my opinion, I think this is going to be the end of Goto. I think the last match he's going to decide to have is against Yoshihashi at Wrestle Kingdom to end his career. I think because remember their story, they were rivals, and then they ended up becoming tag teams after that. So they had banger matches throughout their times. So this is something. What do we got?
My bad. It's not Yo and Leo Rush. It's Yo and Rocky Romero.
At the World Tag League?
In the Super Junior Tag League.
On the Super Junior, yeah. Ooh. That's going to be interesting.
Yep.
Okay. I like that. But, I mean, yeah, I just I see Goto, I think, on his way out. I
got news for it, but after the main event. Okay. It has something to do with that.
Okay. So, then from there, it is time, baby, for the main event. And yes, people didn't go crazy for it, but I did, and Bakley did when, a new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Zack Sabre Jr. That's right, Nettie Mania, baby. I was so tear my eye because it's like, yes, this is something, Gato, if you're fucking watching, you're listening, you dropped a ball on giving it to fucking Ospreay. And I'm pretty sure you're looking at yourself like, fuck, man. This is the era
with the championship?
Even though it wasn't official. Remember, he didn't win the championship official. Will Ospreay.
Yeah, Will Ospreay was the champion.
Well, was he? Or was he intern? Was he intern? Or how?
No. He won the title right before the pandemic. Or during the pandemic. You remember he won it. He was the number 2, I believe.
Number 2, yeah.
Yeah, he took the title from Kota Ibushi.
Was it Ibushi? Okay. I have to go back.
Because remember, that's when he started United Empire, when he won the title. And then the pandemic happened, and then he had to relinquish the title.
That's what I'm saying.
And then that's when Shingo won the title.
Yes.
But then Will Ospreay did the whole thing of appearing on New Japan Strong, acting he was still champion because he never lost it. Mm-hmm. And then that's how the whole thing happened with them two and Okada with the 2 nights. Yeah, so he didn't get a great reign like he should have.
That's where I'm at with the talking about, but you're right. Yes. That's where I feel like they could have, like, once the pandemic was over, they could have really regained that momentum for him. Like, especially with the build of the United Empire. But now it's like, I'm pretty sure since he left, like, hey, we got to continue with that story, but now we're focused on Zack Sabre and the build of TMDK. And adding the additionals, what he added was fucking fantastic. But great matchup that he had against Naito. I know Naito putting the best of it, but for me, I just see it, I'll speak about Naito quickly. For me, Naito, I feel that this is going to be his last run. I think, we mentioned Hiromu, right? I feel Hiromu is going to be the one challenging this man for that faction who takes over of, LIJ. I think it's going to be
could be the retirement match.
Yes, it'll be the retirement match. He's going to pretty much fight all his whole crew, and the last one will be Hiromu.
And maybe it's a way where maybe he still is around as like a manager, but he just like his knees are shot. Like you can tell he's slowed down, and you have to do like a slower paced matchup with him.
Yeah, if you saw this match was more submission than more like karate. Yeah.
It gives him the chance to not have to use his knees as much. Mm-hmm. And then you wonder why a lot of his matches are longer now. It's because they want to give it more time to progress. A lot of the submissions, ground game, slow paced, so he doesn't have to run and do all that shit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and I feel I think Naito should be his last year as well. I think, or take a
Yeah.
long break. With those knees, you basically don't have no more kneecaps. It's like shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you should do. I think I'm with you for being a manager. At least having Hiromu retire him and have him take over LIJ, be a manager, like be a bust of Jado. I don't mind that from Naito. He fits very well doing that anyways. He doesn't need to necessarily compete.
Let's not forget. Let's give Zack Sabre Jr. his flowers with how he's been the last year. Like this last year, he's been my go-to guy.
Oh, me too. Yes.
Oh, geez, just bangers after bangers after bangers. That's what he's done, and it's not the typical style. Like he's submission based, but I think what makes it great is it's a little bit of mixture. Like you got the submission base. I believe he has a little bit of kickboxing, I think, background too, which mixes great. But he knows how to transition from move to move in a short amount of time and make it look effective. He's not going to be the most flashiest or exciting wrestler, but he's the most fun to watch because of his mouth, his charisma.
Yep.
The way that he shit talks and gains you in there by just all that. And then at the end, he'll shit talk, but then he'll be a gentleman about that. If you could say that, like he gives you your props.
Yeah.
You beat him. But then if you put on a great match and he still wins, he's going to be like, hey, great job.
Yeah.
Like he did with Cal Newman in the G1. He was like, great job.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did good. Like he's taking the step up right now. He might not be Japanese, but he is the perfect guy at this position. And people forget how long tenured he has been in New Japan.
Yeah, but remember we said that this is their opportunity for them to give him that belt, or this could have been like the last time we would have seen Zack Sabre in New Japan. I think he would have gone. I think for me, Sabre would have freelanced. Probably would have gone no more to Noah, do little AEW, go where the money talks, do whatever he can do. I don't see him signing with AEW. Let's just say.
I think he stays.
You think he would have stayed and actually accepted that? Okay, they're not going to give me the belt.
Oh, if not, maybe he would have left. But I think he not forced the hand, but he created this himself.
I agree. I think he did. He did probably do that. It's like, well, maybe we'll see. Maybe he really gave him that kind of clue. Like when they resigned, when they asked him to resign, he's like, well, we'll see. I don't know yet. Give me some time. We'll see what direction.
He took a chance to step out from, of course, the group that he was in, because Suzuki-gun took a chance, formed his own group in TMDK. And I think once he did that, and he was the guy, he was the leader, you saw everything just sparkle right afterwards. I think that was the big thing for the brass in New Japan to see was how can he do as the leader of the group. He wasn't just a member of a tag team with Taichi that could do good on his own. This is a guy that can step up, be the leader of the group, and win.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what he did here. Like he got the ultimate prize, win in the G1. He won it. Took a different path to cashing in. Usually it's at Wrestle Kingdom, but he wanted to do this because on Sunday he gets to walk into his home country in the UK as your New Japan Pro Wrestling IWGP World Champion.
Yeah, well fucking deserved, man. I'm so happy for him. And we saw the aftermath. So now to come out congratulating him, okay. And then out of nowhere, you see, Shota Umino. Out of nowhere, you see Shingo Takagi. All asking, hey, I would want next. I want next. And then Shota bringing up, oh, I beat you in the G1. I have one with you on one. And, Shingo's like, well, I beat you. Like, talk about the whole G1. And that's when, of course, somebody speaking Japanese. Of course, wait, what at a time, all right?
Well,
yep.
Well, they made a choice. They've announced it. With Shingo and Shota both winning a shot at the World Title of Gold, Sonata and Zack Sabre Jr. have picked their opponents at Power Struggle. But which match will be for the title? If Zack Sabre Jr. wins, he's going to face Shingo Takagi at Power Struggle. If Sonata wins, he's going to face Shota Umino.
That's fine. I love it. I love it. Yep. I love it because it's going to, seeing that, and then, for Zombie to tell him, like, wait a minute, I respect you guys, but hey, I need to focus on this guy first. So you could, allow me. Yeah. And they're like, they all step out of the ring and telling Sonata, like, hey, man, pick up your feet for once. Stop walking slow.
Well, what's the chance? Hear me out. Me out. Mm-hmm. What is the chance that Zack Sabre Jr. wins this match, goes on the Wrestle Kingdom, and he's going to defend the title against Shota Umino in the main event? Because, come on now, with how they're doing this, you would think that it would be Shota Umino here because Shingo is the more established guy who has main evented Wrestle Kingdom. But Shingo is also the never openweight champion. So more than likely, Zack Sabre Jr. is going to defeat Sonata. Then he's going to defeat Shingo, and you have to have a guy to face. But the plugging in Shota Umino here as part of this for a reason.
Yeah.
So if he's not going to be the guy here, he's somehow going to earn a shot, I think. So,
I'm with you.
So
I'm
how would you feel about like a Zack Sabre Jr. Shota Umino main event in Wrestle Kingdom?
I wouldn't mind it. I think it's something that, like how you're saying, as long as they're able to develop the story for Umino heading to get the number one contender for Wrestle Kingdom, I wouldn't mind. I think the story will be really developed great between them two. And just teasing like until we get to Wrestle Kingdom, that thing is gonna really elevate Shota Umino to where we all want him to be, where he's at currently. I mean, fair. He had a title shot against his former protege, his teacher, Moxley. But it was a great matchup. I'm not saying it's different compared to this because, this guy in here, this is a homegrown talent pretty much from New Japan, made himself a name. How you mentioned his credentials. And this is something that I feel Sombri's character is able to develop Umino's character and the story of him being the underground guy to heading into Wrestle Kingdom.
I just hope that they don't pull what they would do and have Shota Umino win it on the biggest stage right there and kind of take away from Zack Sabre Jr. having a good run with the title. Because then it'll only be like 3 months.
I don't see that. I see Sombra winning, but I see it'll be a close upset. For him to be like, it'll kind of like remind me, like remember when Naito wins the first time and he ended up going and he lost? It's like, shit, all right, now I have to get my shit back and try to win this again, Yeah. I feel that will really help Umino in that direction. And it's something that
maybe he does that, but maybe he can win like the New Japan Cup, get a second chance.
There you go.
In the spring, and maybe win there. And then you can at least have Zack Sabre Jr. have like 6-7 months as champion, defended a few times, like 3, 4, 5 times, and then lose it to him.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
I could buy into that.
I'm with you too. I could buy that
or maybe he gets the rematch at Dominion, something like that.
Or unless he could do it that way at Dominion. But it's like for me, it's like I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm with you. It's just for me, I want to see how they're gonna build it. That's where I'm curious. If they can build it how we're saying, like how exactly, I'm all with it. I'm really 100% all in with that. I just hope they do it for Umino. Because honestly, looking at the roster, who else do we have? I mean, I'm not discrediting Sonata. Nobody could do, but unfortunately, the run, he hasn't been the same since his injury, and he's barely getting back in the momentum. He's not been the same. Naito should step this out of the picture. Shingo, we seen it too many times. I'm sorry. I love Shingo though. I'm not hating on Shingo, but we see it too many times. of him being the guy. There has to be now.
It's too many times him being the never open weight at a champion and then challenging for the title when you know there's not more than likely not going to be a double champion.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's too much already of that. There has to.
I think what's going to happen is he's going to lose. You're going to get Shota versus Zach, and then I could be wrong, but I could see a scenario where you get Shingo defend the never open weight against Sonata.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, but I'm with you. It's just like this should open the doors for a lot of new challengers.
Yes,
I still could see maybe down the line, maybe adding him into it like a triple threat. Maybe we'll be, or maybe after Wrestle Kingdom, we'll be.
We got to remember, we got to remember. The day after Wrestle Kingdom is Wrestle Dynasty.
Wrestle Dynasty, yeah.
Because I'm wondering what David Finley's going to do at Wrestle Kingdom, and then I'm wondering because they've done it like wow. I just started this now.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just started this now because I think of David Finley being a heel. Who just turned into a babyface? AEW.
AEW. Shit. Oh my god. Why am I having
Guns Up?
Guns Up. Yeah, Jay White. But that's gonna happen in Wrestle Dynasty between David Finley.
That's
and
what
Jay
I mean.
White. Yeah.
That's what I mean. But I like. It's no coincidence that with David Finley talking shit, like, oh, I'll get them to take away the ban for you, and then all of a sudden now Jay White's back, but as a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a babyface heel in that to make it more workable a matchup than what it was before. It was still, you had the backstory, but now you have even more of a backstory on a thing there. But I think you're going to have somebody that will face David Finley. I feel like David Finley still has to be champion. Unless Jay White is the reason he loses it.
I think we'll get our answer after Power Struggle. See how they're gonna go with it. We could throw so many like stories into it. But the one thing, like I mentioned, for me is really now is time for, like for me is really I don't mind Umino. That's the only person out of this group that we're hearing this layout. Everybody else should step up. Like you mentioned, Finley's another one. Gabe Kidd is another one. I don't mind that. There's a lot of potential that they should focus on. We talked about earlier. Future. Jake Lee. I don't mind it. Fuck it. Jake Lee.
Sucks that he's hurt right now.
That's the only thing he's fucking. That's fucking bullshit. But it's just like start building. Great O'Con. That's fine. Like little by little.
Because I forgot. I thought they were gonna push them to win the tag titles. Him, Lee, and Gabe Kidd, and then Gabe Kidd's also the New Japan Strong champion. Yeah. On top of it,
or even Jeff Cobb. I don't mind it. Jeff Cobb getting involved in this situation because now you're gonna have the TMDK, who's
Henare too.
Another one. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of potential challengers for Zach Sombre. You just got to give him the right story where it all could lead up to.
Yeah,
and that's heading into Wrestle Kingdom. But the one that really matches the one you said is Umino. Is one guy who is like the guy that you're like, oh, you can't do it. You can't be a top star. And then they start building it like into that story that he can make it. And then he actually makes it out of Wrestle Kingdom being the main event.
If you want to make this guy bigger than what he is, if you don't think he is now, have him face Shota Umino and Wrestle Kingdom, win. And at the next night at Wrestle Dynasty, you have him face Will Ospreay and win.
I like that.
Because I don't think he has beaten Will Ospreay. Because the last time they wrestled was Royal Crest, and Will Ospreay won that.
Yeah, he won that match.
And with how hot Ospreay is right now, you have Zack Sabre Jr. win at Dynasty and maybe put the title on the line. And then win. That's how you validate him even more. 2 wins with 2 title defenses. He's still champion against 2 big baby faces, one in AEW and one in New Japan.
This is going to be interesting. We're seeing a new chapter here happening in the world of New Japan that Gotcha is fucking Netty Mania, because now is a new era of how Zombie said it on KOPW. He said it. This is a new era of the TMDK. Yeah. We're taking over the New Japan. I love it. I think it's something that where it left off, where it should have been Ospreay without the pandemic situation. I think it would have been the same, but now we're getting it here with Zach. I don't mind it, and I think it's about time he paid his dues, and I hope his era is a long run. I hope it's a very long run. They don't really end this short for him, because he deserves to have a long run for that belt. He paid his dues in the world of New Japan, and I don't mind him building other talent like Umino, making him that guy to be the next one. There's so many that I'm invested of how this. What chapters is Tanahashi going to have here for us heading into Wrestle Kingdom? What challenges are we going to have heading into that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for Wrestle Dynasty, but that's my concern, because I know we got to get matches between them and AEW. That's fine. I'm not hating on that.
And speaking of that, we didn't talk about the little promo we got of who's going to be at Wrestle Dynasty.
Oh, that's right. That's the Young Bucks.
In the Young Bucks.
Rod and Todd are coming back. That's it. It's fine that Rod and Todd are coming back. I'm excited for them to come back.
And what I like, we get this Wrestle Dynasty. Are we assuming it's going to be New Japan versus AEW?
I mean,
but then, in retrospect, and then we also have Stardom involved with it, and CMLL, and Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. They made a big notion to put Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's going to be a lot cooking. And now we finally have AEW all back and healthy of the big stars. So just in time for this big event.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see, but
my head is cooking right now.
I'm more about this. What you mentioned got to my head is the Umino story, because I'm trying to think how to build this man up to head into that title contention. Because the more he's a chaser, the more of a chaser he is, the more he's going to get the fans behind him. Because he's there. Don't get me wrong. He's there, but you're right what you said. Like, how to build this man. I am so with you. I think that'll be the right way.
It's always hard for me to distinguish how you're going to do it, because we know what's going to happen. Like, Royal Crest, he's wrestling Cal Newman. Then you got the Super Junior Tag League, so he's not going to be doing anything for that. That leads into Power Struggle. He doesn't have anything right now for Power Struggle, so we got to wait between that.
We have to wait for that to see what.
So then, after that is World Tag League. After World Tag League is the Road to Tokyo Dome, because it's right there. So it's like, at what point are you gonna connect the dots to get Shota to face Zack Sabre Jr.?
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it and how they're gonna develop it. But it's gonna be very intriguing.
Because they made it so it's so hard now, because usually we're like, okay, the guy who win the G1 has the briefcase, he's going there. But because they did this separate route, we're getting a brand new outcome.
Unless they make this is gonna be a tough. Unless they, but they I don't know. Unless they do like a regular singles. Like a single match between Umino and Shingo, just for the fuck of it. No, just a singles matchup at Power Struggle. While they,
Yeah, but if Zack Sabre Jr. wins, that's who Zack Sabre Jr. is going to face.
I'm with you. But I'm just saying, just a regular matchup. It doesn't have to be like a stipulation to it. Just putting like a power matchup. And then, obviously.
Wouldn't it have to be Sonata or something? Because
Sonata's
not gonna.
Oh wait, no, hold on. Power Struggle stripping. You're right.
We're across this Sunday. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, wait. I got the card here for real.
And Shota is facing Cal Newman.
Okay, hold on. I got the card right here. Royal Quest. So we got Royal Quest here. So that's what we have so far. So we got. See, Umino's facing Newman. You said Yota Tsuji versus Drilla Moloney. Finley versus Taka Michinoku. LIJ versus TMDK, pretty much. That's what it is. TMDK versus Tomohiro Ishii and Tanahashi. You have, of course, Stardom in here, of course, AMZ and Danny Lena versus Mino Shirakawa and Kanish. You have Kosei Fushida versus Michael Oku. Yeah,
Yes, my tag teams in this.
Yeah, it's Tajimura and a mystery partner who's going to be versus Joe Lando and Danny Black. You have Oscar Lube and Yudo.
The Young Bloods.
The Young Bloods. Yep. Okay. Awesome. So this is going to be a great matchup. So I struggle. They haven't announced anything yet that I know.
It's just the 4 match. No, I think they have 5 or 6 matches announced.
The only ones they announced is the one for. I see it right here. Is Tai Chi versus David Finley, Doku versus Master Wado. Yeah. They got ELP and Tanahashi versus House of Torture, Ren Narita, and Evil.
Oh, I didn't see this.
And there's another match they announced too that they announced one more too. They have
they announced an event in the States in Long Beach, California.
No, but
December 15th, Strong Style Evolved.
Mm-hmm.
At the Walk to Pyramid. Part of me feels like maybe they do like a number 1 contenders match there.
And then on Power, so they have Yoda Suji and Shingo versus Zack Zombre and Io Ryoi. So that's the announcement for that matchup. So they announced that for Power Struggle. And then also they have a Power Struggle. They have Shota Umino, Master Wado, and Jado versus 5 guys.
Road to Power Struggle,
Road to Struggle, yeah. So Sonata and Doku and Taka Michinoku. So they announced that. So I mean, we're gonna have we'll see how the fuck they're gonna do this shit. This is gonna be interesting to see. There's a lot of things happening that I'm excited for. So I mean, but we got the Royal Quest coming up as well this Sunday. That is, of course, Zack Zombre defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship versus Sonata. So we saw the card earlier here, guys. So that's going to be something how I'm excited to see. And who is the mystery partner for Tachi Ishimori?
That's interesting.
I wonder who's going to be. That's what I'm excited to see. But man, but we'll be back here actually next week. We'll be back next week for sure because we have to go ahead and recap Royal Quest, see what's going to happen to the direction there, and also break down to you guys the participants of the junior tag leagues, super junior tag leagues, and the world tag leagues of the blocks. Who's going to be participating, and any more news of course, happening in the world of New Japan. And I know besides that, there's another announcement that happened as well for Noah. That, of course, our good WWE guy, Nakamura, who is he facing at Noah? See, I even forgot who it was because I know they mentioned his name. Let's see. Pro Wrestling Noah, he is facing Ula Sasaki. Ula Sasaki. So that's going to be happening on New Year's Day for them on 2025, happening on New Year's, happening on January 1st. That's right. Nakamura is back, heading into Pro Wrestling Noah. So I'm excited to see that, how it's going to develop. So there's a lot of things happening in the world of professional wrestling, folks.
Yep.
But yeah. But all right, for all of our audio listeners, thank you so much around the world, and I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys enjoyed KOPW and enjoy Royal Quest. But like the man of 1,000 words of myself, man, we will be back here next week to recap you the Royal Quest because there might be stories there that we might know heading into Power Struggle, and there's a lot of things that we probably were not going to be expecting. So I mean, man of 1,000 words, let people know where they can find you. Talk to them, baby.
Yeah, man. The King. You can find me on social media, on IG and on X at CageIQ. I post a lot of news and rumors and stuff within wrestling. If you want to hit me up in the DMs to talk wrestling and whatnot, be my guest. And then, of course, for shows, you can find me every Tuesday from 8 to 10 Eastern Time on Circle Debate doing the NXT Watch Along with the Redeemer, Justin. And, of course, on here on Dojo Debates. And then you can find me wherever else. I'm always floating between shows and on other people's podcasts. But yeah, that's about it.
That is right, folks. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in here. Enjoy the rest of your day, and or if you're watching the rest of the night, wherever you're listening and watching. Until then, folks, we'll be back next week. And don't forget, this Saturday, Elma Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Watch Along, the Man of 1,000 Words will probably he'll be hosting that on Saturday or on Sunday. Maybe do both, depending on himself how he feels.
Yeah.
Because this man is a busy man, I'll tell you that. But man,
facts.
That is right. But until then, folks, we bid you adieu. Goodbye. Good night.
Must bid you adieu. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night.
Oh my God, it's so great.
Bang! Yes!